Hello student, this is Rajiv and welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you are all fine and having a good take care to you. Today we are going to discuss some questions that based on the proportion. I hope you have enjoyed with some last video. In this video we are going to discuss the questions that based on continued proportion. I hope you are all familiar with the continued proportion. So now let us start some question that based on continued proportion. Okay, student. So here find the value of x using continued proportion. Using continued proportion. And the questions are given here. The first is x 4 7 3 8 x 9 x 4 x 2 5. So there are some questions are given and we have to find out the value of x using the concept of continued proportion. So now let us start using this. First of all, in order to solve this question, let us revise what does the definition of continued proportion says. Because in the lack of the information of the definition, we are not able to find out the value of x using the continued proportion. So what is the continued proportion? Now let us see. Suppose A, B and C, A, B and C are in continued proportion if A is to B proportional to B is to C. That means the median of a proportion would be same in the proportion. Then these quantities are known as in the continued proportion. So in order to solve the question, now here we have solution of first. The given question is x 4 7. So A equal to x, B is equal to 4 and C is equal to 7. So here we write A is to B proportional to B is to C. That means x is to 4 proportional to 4 is to 7. So it may be also written as x upon 4 equal to 4 upon 7 or x into 7 is equal to 4 into 4. Using the concept of cross multiplication, we can write these two fractions in this form, or 7x will equal to 16 or x is equal to 16 by 7. So that the 16 by 7 is the value of x. 16 by 7 is the value of x, and hence our question number 1 is completed, and I hope you understood this question. Okay student, now let us see the second question. The second question is given here 3 8 x. The question is given as 3 8 and x, and here we write A equal to 3, B equal to 8 and C is equal to x. And the concept of continued proportion says that A is to B is proportional to B is to C. So here we write the value of A is 3 is 2, the value of B is 8. Okay, and this proportional to 8 is to x. Therefore this is the definition of continued proportion. Now it can be written in the form of fraction. So we write it like this: 3 upon 8 equal to 8 upon x. So that this can be written in the form of like this. Now we do the cross multiplication. So it can be written as 3 into x equal to 8 into 8, or 3x will equal to 64. Okay, 3x is equal to 64, or x will equal to 64 upon 3. So that x is equal to 64 upon 3 is the right answer of the second question, and I hope that you understood the solution. Let us see the solution once again. The given question is 3, 8x, and we have to find out the value of x using the concept of continued proportion. As in the continued proportion, a, b and c are said to be in continued proportion if a is to b will proportional to b is to c. So here the value of a, b, c are 3, 8 and x respectively. So it may be put in the form of a is to b proportional to b is to c, like 3 is to 8 proportional to 8 is to x. As we know that two ratios are said to be proportional if their fractional form of equal, so that 3 is to 8 will equal to 8 is to x. Therefore 3 upon 8 will equal to 8 upon x. Now do the cross multiplication in order to get the value of x. We write 3 into x and 8 into 8. 3 into x will give 3x and 8 into 8 gives 64. Here 3 is multiplied by x. So when we transpose 3 to the right side of the equal, it becomes divided and we get x is equal to 64 upon 3. So that 64 upon 3 is the result of the second question. Now let us see the third question. The third question is given here 9x and 4. Here the value of a is 9, the value of b is x, and the value of c is 4. So these are the values are given. Now using the definition, a is to b proportional to b is to c. So here we put the value of a as 9 is to x proportional to x is to 4, or it may be written as 9 upon x equal to x upon 4. Since the both ratios are in proportion, therefore their fractional form will be equal. Now do the cross multiplication. We get x into x will equal to 9 into 4, or x square is equal to 36. Okay, or it can be written as x square is equal to 6 square, square and square become cancelled out, and we get here x is equal to 6. Therefore x is equal to 6 is the solution of this question. Here the solution is slightly different from the other solution because the median point of this question is x, and when we do the cross multiplication we get x square as the left hand side. So here we need to find out the square root of the second side. So here x square is equal to 36, or x square may also be written as 6 square. Square and square become cancelled out, and we get the value of x is equal to 6. And I hope that the solution is clear. Now let us see the next question. Now let's see the next and the last question. The last question is given here x, 2 and 5. Here the value of a is x, value of b is 2 and the value of c is 5. And the definition of continued proportion is a is to b proportional to b is to c. So put the value of a, b and c in this formula. We have the value of a is x, is to value of b is 2 is proportional to, again the value of b is 2 and the value of c is 5. Since these two proportions are in proportion, ratios are in proportion, therefore their fractional form will equal. So we can write x upon 2 is equal to 2 upon 5. Now by the cross multiplication we get x into 5 is equal to 2 into 2. Okay student, I hope it is clear. Now let us see 5x equal to 4. 5x equal to 4 or x equal to 4 upon 5. Therefore 4 upon 5 is the value of x, and I hope the solution is clear. Okay student. So this is the last question of the continued proportion, and I hope that the concept of the continued proportion is clear to everyone. Now we are going to discuss the next topic, which is very important and having a great scope in order to find out the various type of question in the competition level. So I suggest you to still remember the method to solve the question in the future. So now let's see the next topic, which is the unitary method. Let's see what is the unitary method. Unitary method is a method in which we find out the value of a desirable number of article by the process of getting the value of one article through a certain number of article. Okay, so this is the definition. What does the definition? Definition says that we find out the value of desirable number of article by the process of getting the value of one article of a certain number of article. So this is the definition of this unitary method. Let us understand the unitary method by an example. Here a question is given: if the cost of 10 balls is 150 rupees, then what will be the cost of 12 balls? So this is the question. Here we find out the solution using a unitary method. Since the cost of 10 balls is 150 rupees, so here we find out the cost of one ball. Therefore the cost of one ball equal to, we divide the total cost by the number of article, that is 10. So when we divide 150 by 10, we get 15 rupees. Therefore the cost of one ball is 15 rupees. Now if we multiply 15 by the desired number of article, we get the cost of that article. So that the cost of 12 ball will equal to 12 into 50. So when we multiply 12 5 is 60 and 12 1 is 12. Therefore 180 is the cost of 12 balls. So this is the concept of unitary method. I hope the unitary method is clear to everyone. If you have any doubt, then you can ask the question by dropping a small comment in the comment section. I will clear your doubt in the next video. If you are new in the channel, then don't forget to subscribe, and if you like, then press the like button and also share the video. So we shall meet in the next video with some new approach. Till then, goodbye.